L'Kavod Simchas Torah in Parshas Bereshis. In Parshas Bereshis, we have the pasuk Al Ken Yazov Ish Es Aviv Ve'es Imo Ve'Davak Be'Ishtov V'Hoyu Levasar Echad, which is the basis of all of our shidduchim efforts to fulfill this pasuk and bring shidduchim and zvugim into the world. The following story, quoting from the Torah Tavlin, was recently told over by a younger man married with 3 children. This story occurred when he was 27 years old. The shidduch period was a real difficult one for him. It's not that he was overly picky, but the appropriate offers just didn't happen. The right date had just not come along. After so many offers that ended in nothing, one can easily reach despair. What's more, 2 of his friends were married, and one of them already had a 6-year-old child. On one of the days of Bein Hazmanim, he says, I went to Bnei Brak to attend the wedding of a friend. I arrived at the chuppah, stayed for the food and dancing. At 10 o'clock, I left the hall for the nearest bus back to Yerushalayim. I met a friend and started talking to him at the entrance of a building. It turns out that he was at a Sheva Brachos of his relative. Suddenly, a man comes down from the building and says to my friend, why are you out here? Come upstairs. It's really empty and sad up there. Then he turns to me, come upstairs, they're waiting for you there. Waiting for me? Go upstairs? Waiting for what? I try to tell him that he's mixing me up with somebody else. But he interrupts me, look, I'm really looking for a man to complete our minyan for a Sheva Bracha, so please come upstairs. There's a chos and a kala up there, are supposed to be happy. It's already 10:30 p.m., there are only 6 people there. If you go up, you'll get a prize. I opened my mouth to answer him that I'm in a hurry, and besides, I wasn't looking for a prize, but something in his voice sounded kind and innocent. I decided to comply. It was a basic Sheva Brachos in a private home. It was also rather shabby, with the bride and groom, 2 in-laws, 1 grandfather, 2 boys, and several babies in strollers. No one sang or even spoke. No music was being played. It was quite nebuchdik, to be quite honest. I thought to myself, how are they going to pass the time here? Little by little, individual family members arrived, and finally, they had a minyan. The man who had called me looked and said to me, sing something. I looked left and right, realized he was talking to me. I had no choice. I started with Odi Shama and Mehera, and then lapsed into Invei HaGefen, and V'yizku Livnos Bayis Neman B'Yisrael. A few members of the bride's family, it might have been the groom's family, who knew, hummed along with me, and this went on for a few moments. After these songs, the same man approached me and whispers in my ear, say a few words for the simcha. I looked at him. I know you didn't prepare a Dvar Torah, but go ahead. Start to speak. Say something about the chassan. You will receive a prize. Again with the prize. What does he want from me? The man told me that the chassan's name is Mordechai. He learns in such and such yeshiva. His mesachta is Rosh Yeshiva, and a few other pertinent details. Say a few words. L'kavod the simcha. He again urges me, and here I act bravely, got up and began to sing the praises of a man named Mordechai, who I had never in my life seen before, and most likely will never see again. Somehow, a speech came out that was full of praise for the bridegroom, whose name I never heard a few minutes ago, and it went far in his learning and avodas Hashem, and in relation to his friends. I even gave examples from his life, which I had heard a moment before, in which Mordechai proved himself to be noble and special in the midah of giving. My words made a great impression on those present, and to be honest, myself too. I praised the wonderful chassan by saying that this is what they say about him. Everyone shook my hand, and the bridegroom embraced me with many thanks. No one stood up to speak after me, seeing that my speech saved the Sheva Brachos, which had almost shut down. The Yid sitting next to me asked for my name. He wanted to propose a shidduch. How are you related to the groom? He was interested. I'm not related to the groom or the bride. I explained to him. I don't know anyone. I don't know the bride's surname. So what are you doing here, he asked. Chesed, I told him. I was asked to come and make the minyan. He laughed heartily and said, I'm also a passerby who came here at the request of one of the relatives, and since we're both in the same family situation, towards this chassan and kala, that already makes us mechutanim. Kind of. He smiled kindly. In short, I want to suggest to you, my sister's daughter, he tells me, What makes you think of proposing your sister's daughter before you even know me? To tell you the truth, after your special speech, I feel like I know you a little, and after I hear that you were here voluntarily, I know you even more and appreciate you. And thirdly, why not give it a try? Indeed, the third claim tipped the scales. I gave him my parents' phone number, and we went our separate ways. Everything else is already history. That evening produced a match, and today I'm married with 3 children. Baruch Hashem. And why did I remember this story? Because a week ago I met someone familiar on the bus. He looked at me and I looked at him. I know you from somewhere, he says. Yeah, you too, I answer him. We both looked at each other. It is clear that we saw and talked and even had something nice and funny between us. We couldn't remember what it was. Well, he suddenly taps his forehead. At that moment, I do the same. We both remembered. It was you who spoke at the Sheva Brachas of my brother, Mati, in Bnei Brak, without even knowing him. How could I forget that? I have never heard such praise from someone who does not know the groom at all. It might have been the best Sheva Brachas speech of all time. It was a very sad evening that did not contribute to the happiness of the Chassan and Kala, and you saved it with your appearance and your wonderful words and your act of chesed. I remember that very well. We both laughed. Oy vey, he says suddenly. What's the oy vey, I asked. I promised you a prize, remember? Want us to keep his promise. I laughed and said to the kind man, don't worry. Hashem has kept your promise. I received my prize. Good Shabbos and good Yontif.